Okay, so I thought I'd make a quick review for this movie. Mandalorian and Grogu, directed by Jon Favreau, starring Pedro Pascal. Sigourney Weaver's in it a little bit. Um, and that's kind of it. Oh yeah, Martin Scorsese's in it, but he's covered in bad CGI. So, um, I didn't hate this movie. I didn't really like it either. Now, is it better or worse than Supergirl? Oh, that's the question. That's the eternal question. I'm not really sure. I thought the first half of this movie wasn't bad. I was kind of actually into it. I even kind of dug the music, and it's totally different music than you usually get in Star Wars, and nothing like John Williams. But um, the first half isn't bad. I liked him and Grogu and their little mission in the beginning, and when they go to that planet and that city that's kind of like Blade Runner a little bit. I kind of liked that. I even liked that there was like a gladiatorial fight in it. I didn't think that stuff was bad. Now I didn't. This is all spoilers. The movie's been out for a while. Spoilers. There's a lot of stuff I didn't like about this movie, though. Now, I will give it this, though. I do think it's better than episode 8 and 9, and not probably not 7, though. I probably still go think seven's better. And better than Solo. And Rogue One I like, but really it's just the last act that I really like in that movie. So I don't know. I guess it's on par with that. But and all the episodes 1 through 6 are all better than this, in my opinion. In episode 7, um, so there's some stuff I liked. The parts that aren't CGI or look pretty good. I appreciate that Grogu is usually practical, so I kind of appreciate that. I thought that there's some good stuff going on in the first half. I don't really care about Jabba the Hutt's son and him constantly saying, "I don't want to be my dad," and him just it's just like I'm good, he's bad. It's just so simplistic, and that's the thing about this movie is it's just so Disney. It's so Disney, and it's like, yeah, well, that's what it is, yeah. But it bombed. I mean, it made 342 million, but it's a bomb. So maybe they could have a little bit more edge to these movies. I don't know. It's like I get it. It's in Disneyland. It's Disney, but come on. I mean, even George Lucas had some edge. He cut off Luke Skywalker's hand. He had, even some sex. Like he had Padme, in episode 2. She looks really good, and she, is wearing that cut off, and she gets slashed, and you've seen the movie. Um, we had Natalie Portman. It's like in this, there's no sex. There's nothing sexy about the movie. It's all just homogenized, and I swear some of it's written by AI too. I bet it is. It's just AI slop, like they say. and it's too bad because I think he could have done something good here, but instead it's just yeah. And then the guy is, but he's not a slave. He chooses to fight in the ring, and then they get betrayed, and then they save him, and then they go to the Alliance or the whatever, the New Republic, and they meet Grandma Sigourney Weaver, and then she gets to tag along later too. Like I saw my friend and talking about it. He's like, yep, even Granny gets to come. Even Granny gets to shoot a gun in a space battle, and it's just so Disney. It's like, yeah, we'll have Granny in it too, and then that'll get the whole family involved, and I don't know. I can just almost see it like on a spreadsheet. Like they're like, we need an older actress in it that gets Grandma in. We need Mandalorian and Grogu, and Grogu's all like cute, and that will get the family in. And then there's a little bit of darkness with the Jabba the Hutt or whatever they're called, Mala the Hutt. There's like two of them, and they even have the creatures from Episode 9, those little things, and I kind of thought that was funny. They have a little spaceship. That was funny. I'll give the movie that. That was funny. Um, but then there's a scene where one of them almost dies, but then he doesn't die. Of course, because it's Disney, and it's like there's four of them. You can't kill one of them. It's like one of them gets like gets trapped in like a space dog, basically's mouth, like a space mountain lion, whatever. It's all CG, of course, but um, and then he gets taken away. But then later, oh no, he's not dead. He escapes, and then he's fine, and then they all hug, and it's just like people go like, well, what about the Ewoks? Well, George Lucas killed like an Ewok. He killed a couple of them actually, yeah, on screen, and you assume many more died. I mean, I don't know. Like it makes me appreciate the Ewoks from like episode 9 or episode 3. Oh, sorry, episode 6. It's also confusing. But yeah, that's what this movie's just make me think. It's just like, it makes me be like, man, even George Lucas had some edge, you know? Like in episode 3 when Anakin, he kills children. I mean, and you don't have to redo that, obviously, because that's episode 3. That's the darkest Star Wars ever. That's fine. That's fine. I get that. You don't have to ever go that dark again. And that movie's rated PG-13, and I don't know if any of the other ones are rated PG-13. So, but I mean, at least there's, it's like, gosh, I mean, Anakin, he gets his hand cut off. He goes and rescues his mom, or tries to, and he ends up slaying a whole village of damn, what are they called? I forget what they're sandwalkers. I forget what they're called, but anyways. And then in episode 3, half his 2/3 of his body is burnt in a volcano, and then he barely survives, and he becomes Darth Vader. It's just there's none of that edge. It's all just Disney-fied. I never felt any stakes in this movie. Never felt any stakes. I never felt like the Mandalorian is in danger. Never felt like Grogu was in danger. Never felt like Sigourney Weaver was in danger. I mean, she's barely in the movie, but I mean, at one point, the Mandalorian gets knocked out, and Grogu kind of has to save him. So it's kind of nice, you know, have him do something. Actually, he never really uses that much of the Force either, though. Just to like kind of move little tiny things, and I don't know. The movie felt very safe, but in being very safe, it's just boring. It's just boring. There were some good nods. This is the trivia. The creatures in the gladiatorial scene are full-size versions of those from the chess game aboard the Millennium Falcon. The floor of the arena is also the same round shape and checker pattern as the chessboard. Okay, I didn't notice that. The large robots, Mandalorian fights, were stop motion animation created by Phil Tippett. That was cool. Who also created the stop motion effects for original Star Wars. That part was cool. That is cool. I'll give Jon Favreau that. Because when I was watching the movie, I was like, is that stop motion? It looks like it. Because you really can't fake it with CG. And I was like, I'm 99% sure that's stop motion. And then later I was talking to my friend, and he's like, yeah, that was. So, and it was like, it's Phil Tippett. I was like, oh man, that's sweet. That's cool. Give Phil Tippett some work. I mean, and it looks cool. Like it's like they should still use stop motion, but they just throw away the whole technology. So that's cool. I've never seen that's the thing with these movies, these new Star Wars movies. I never had a problem with how they looked really. Now this one had a little bit more CG in it than I kind of like, but episode 7, 8, and 9, I mean, they look pretty good. It's and yeah, they have Phil Tippett and like he fights these two cool droids, and that was awesome. So all that's really good. All that's good. Um, but yeah, it just pisses me off how Hollywood they just throw away a whole technology because we could just do a CG. It's like it doesn't look the same. Like stop motion has like this weird way of how they move, but there's almost like a horror aspect to it that I think Hollywood just throws in the trash. So I'll give the movie that. Like I didn't hate the movie, but I mean at least he's in the suit basically the whole time, unlike Supergirl. What a waste that was. Rhoda the Hutt is the same character as the young Hutt saved by Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars. Okay, I haven't watched the Clone Wars. Sigourney Weaver joined the cast of the film because she really wanted to act on screen with Grogu and get paid millions of dollars, right? There's a reference to Carl Weathers. I didn't pick that up. That's cool. R.I.P. Carl Weathers. The small ship the Imperial warlord attempts to escape in near the beginning of the film is an INT-4 interceptor, which was released in the original Kenner mini rig collection of the 80s. There's a lot of good nods. I mean, they have nods to the creatures in episode 2. They're in the arena. And I liked all that. Like, there was other nods to the prequels, which is cool. Because, like, I don't hate the prequels like some people do. Like, I don't care. I'll defend those movies, and there's a bunch of bad stuff about the prequels, but heck, maybe I should review all the Star Wars movies, but that's a whole thing. But there's droids in this that are reanimated from the prequels, which I thought was cool because like there would be a bunch of them laying around, and it probably wouldn't be that hard to start them up again, right? And man, Martin Scorsese has a cameo as an alien, but I don't really. It's like can't that scene, and then later I found out it was Martin Scorsese, and I'm like, that was him. It's like okay, yeah, it does sound like him, but he's covered in bad. It's shitty CGI. I'm sorry, it is. And it's like, why not just have him and film him? Why does he have to be this weird monkey spider creature that he talks to? Why not just have him be him? That would have made the movie way better because it'd be like, oh shit, it's Martin Scorsese and he's not covered in crappy CGI. So I don't know. I guess that's it. I don't want to keep going on and on, but this is the first Star Wars movie not to feature a lightsaber. Yeah, see, it's kind of a negative to me too. It's just like Star Wars without Jedi is like you're just missing something. It's like cereal without milk. It's like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I mean, some people are probably totally cool with that. I don't know, but it just takes something away from the movie. But like I heard they were maybe gonna make a spin-off movie with Keanu Reeves as a Jedi. Why don't they do that? That'd be awesome. But no, they just do this, and it's just kind of bland. And yeah, there's a lot of good nods, but I can play a video game and there's a bunch of good nods to other stuff. It's the first Star Wars movie in 7 years since the release of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. This movie marks, for Sigourney Weaver, her fourth sci fi franchise. She appeared in Alien, Ghostbusters, and Avatar. Yeah. I mean, you could maybe throw in Cabin in the Woods, but I guess that's more like mythology, I guess. So, yeah. And it really did piss me off that they just didn't even have the balls to kill one of those little creatures. They set it up. They could have just done it. But no, they can't because oh, the kitties will be angry. It's like, come on. You got to have some stakes. You got to have some stakes, Disney. Come on. I mean, it's kind of like in episode 9 where like they almost killed Chewie. But it's like, oh, they killed Chewie. But then like 15 seconds later, they have a scene with Chewie where he's kidnapped. And it's like, no, they didn't. Of course not. Not that I want to see Chewie die, but come on. It's like you set it up, you don't have any stakes. Oh well. Movie bombed. I can see why it did. So, but comment below, let me know if you liked it more than me. If so, why? If you disagree with me. So, alright, that's about it though.